This interview is brought to you by the University of Minnesota Alumni Association and the Maroon and Gold Network.
Hello, my name is Ariana Zarling, and I'm the Director of Student and Recent Alumni at the University of Minnesota Alumni Association, here for another spotlight of one of our awesome volunteers. Today we're spotlighting Pat Duncanson, who is the current chair-elect of the UMAA Board of Directors, but has been a longtime volunteer with both the University of Minnesota and the Alumni Association. So hi, Pat.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah. So first question for you is, can you tell us a little about yourself and your experience at the University of Minnesota?
Sure. I became involved as a volunteer supporting the university and supporting the Alumni Association shortly after graduation, which is now more than 4 decades ago almost. And there may have been some small gaps, but almost on a continuous basis. It seems like I've always been doing something to support the university, to support the Alumni Association, and to give back what I feel is an incredible gift that the University of Minnesota is to the state of Minnesota, and in large part to myself and to our family business. I'm a farmer, and I am a consumer of many university resources, including extension and the research and education component of it. So almost on a continuous basis, I have an interaction with the university. And as a volunteer with the Alumni Association, I feel like I'm able to give back and to pay forward in some ways so that others can benefit, like I've benefited from being having a strong association with the university.
Great. We're really grateful for all the ways that you've given back. So how did you get started volunteering, and why do you volunteer with the Alumni Association? You already touched on this a little bit, but anything else you have to add?
Yeah. So I feel in some ways that by making sure that we have a strong University of Minnesota, and by volunteering with the Alumni Association and helping the Alumni Association in their efforts to help the University of Minnesota, I really feel like I'm investing in the value of my degree. Mm-hmm. And my degree is worth so much more today than it was the day that I graduated. And that's an economic decision and an economic equation to me. I'm an agricultural business major from CFANS in the early 1980s. And I look at things from an investment standpoint. So as I invest my time and my volunteer efforts in the University of Minnesota, I hope that I'm making the university stronger, and I'm keeping it vibrant, and I'm keeping it a very relevant force in not only in our state, but also globally, for helping with the education component of citizens in Minnesota, for helping with the research, not only fundamental research, but also applied research. And it's easy for me to see that involved in agriculture, and also in the extension service, so that the research that is done within the university gets spread broader. So it was very easy for me to see early on, several decades ago, that as I invested in the university to make sure that it remained strong and vibrant, that it was a better place to for all the citizens, and it also helped me directly.
Definitely. What would you say is your favorite thing or most memorable experience volunteering with the Alumni Association or with the university as a whole?
Sure. By far, one of the most amazing things to me is the diversity that our university has. So the diversity of students that come from all over the world, the diversity of students even from maybe within Minnesota or within our relatively local communities, and how different students with different backgrounds can go to the university and get a much different experience maybe than I had. Hopefully it's a positive experience as well, but that it is so flexible and so encompassing that it can adapt and accommodate people with many, many broad backgrounds and many, many different interests, and both professionally and socially and culturally.
Our diversity is definitely our strength, so makes us stronger. So why would you encourage someone else to volunteer?
Well, first of all, it's very personally rewarding. Being involved on with professional people from much different backgrounds and diverse backgrounds, and so being involved in board leadership work is certainly rewarding and encouraging from the personal experiences that we gain. But also, I feel we have a obligation to pay back. And so that obligation of whether it's advocacy at the legislature or whether it is volunteering within the university, trying to make sure that the Alumni Association is represented well and is got great programming and so forth, and working with the great staff that they have. So I would encourage people to be involved, to try to pay back or to pay forward for that, so that the next generation can benefit like we have.
That's very well said. Well, thank you so much, Pat, both for your time today and for sharing a little bit of your U of M story, but also for all of the ways that you've been giving back to the university over the past several decades. We couldn't do a lot of the work that we do without support from volunteers like you, so we really appreciate it. And I think that's the end.